You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which was up 35 points today, or 0.20%, closed at 17,628. You could see the volume was about 9% below the 50-day. It's been below average here for a little while now, except for that one day. Anyway, some days on the stock market are really exciting. There's a lot of energy and a lot of things going on. And then you have days like today. Well, there's not a lot going on really. And then people are cautious ahead of Lord Jerome Powell, who's going to lower interest rates tomorrow. And we don't know if it's going to be 25 or 50, but the point is it's the beginning of a cycle where the interest rates are heading lower. And the bond market has been telling us this for a while now. So there's no secrets here. It's just 50 or 25. And what he says, they'll dissect every syllable that he says tomorrow. So usually after Powell speaks, it's 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. The opposite reaction occurs. So if he speaks and the market rips higher, that's probably a good time to sell. And if it sells off, it's probably a good time to buy because there's usually a reversal, the next day or following the interest rate move and whatever Powell has to say. Anyway, today we had a nice little move higher in the first hour of action, then it just sold off the rest of the day. Like I say, a lot of caution ahead of the interest rates tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be 25 or 50, but interest rates are coming down, and the bond market's telling us this for quite some time. Anyway, the DIA, the Dow Jones, made a new high, closed at a new high yesterday, made a new high today. I might as well go to the real index and not the ETF. You can see it made a new high today, 41,835, then pulled back, like the NASDAQ. It just, made a higher high, maybe the first, hour, and then sold off the rest of the session. So, same thing on the SPY, which was, was flat today, 0.4%. And then the IWM, it was, the strongest of all the indexes today. And I think with lowering rates, it's probably going to help the smaller cap stocks more than the large cap stocks, which are more resourced and funded. Anyway, I wanted to point this SPY. This is a very nice looking chart here. If this is a stock, I would say, hey, this looks like it's ready to blast higher. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to get to some stocks. Hold on a second. I'll go back to the NASDAQ. Just wanted to point out a couple of things here on the NASDAQ. One is that for 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive days, 1, 2, 3, 4, count them with me here, 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive days, the low of the session has been above the 21. So that's significant. And as long as the low of the session is above the 21, I'm more aggressive. It slides below it, then I'm a little less aggressive. But it looks like these short-term moving averages want to trade through the longer-term 50 simple moving average. So for short-term, I think we're going to get a rally, but anything can happen in the market. We need to be flexible and open-minded to all possibilities. Anyway, I'm going to get to the stocks. Microsoft, you can see it's just consolidating in a base here, a nice cup shape pattern. It was up today on news that it had a $60 billion stock repurchase program, and they increased their dividend. I think it was like 10%. It doesn't have, great dividend for a company with this kind of cash, but 60 billion, when you think about that, I mean, that's bigger than most companies. So it's pretty incredible how much cash they have, and they have been spending a lot of it on NVIDIA GPUs. But anyway, that's another topic. 3.2 billion market cap, forming a base here. It looks pretty darn good. Apple, I guess rumors are the new phone's not selling well. It's not even out yet, so I don't know how it can sell well. But anyway, just sold off yesterday, flat today ahead of Powell tomorrow. And then NVIDIA, flat today, still above the closed right at the 21, didn't it? Yeah, closed right at the 21. So NVIDIA has to, or investors have to make a decision here, then pay up and have it drive through these moving averages or sell off and a slice below them. So we'll have to wait and see. It's at an inflection point here in NVIDIA. Anyway, I'm just going to look at some stocks that are showing strength today. It's going to be a shorter video because, it's kind of pointless ahead of Powell because everything's going to change tomorrow after the announcement and after he speaks. And we're just going to have to see the how the market responds. I'm going to go to the drug stocks first of all. IGMS, this is one that had a nice move yesterday as it, powered through the pivot here, broke above, and now today it was still up 11%, but you could see it closed 36% of its daily range. But yeah, they had news and looks like it responded well to the news. ASND is another one that gapped up yesterday. How much did it gap up yesterday? 17%, tacked on another 5% today. So there's a lot of news coming out of these conferences for these biotech stocks. So you got to be on the lookout for them, especially these smaller names here. This is ADMA, 4 billion market cap. And I didn't have any news, but it doesn't need any news. They've got the growth profile, sales and earnings growth. You can see the gap higher, the pullback to the 21. Now it's surfing the 10. I'd like to see it trade above 1934, but I still think its action will just, where it is right now. I think I had the buy point here at 1840, and it's a little bit above that. So I like that one. I like TGTX as well. You can see why here. Pull back to the 50 support, and now it got a little bit ahead of itself up to 2603 today, made a new high, pulled back, closed at 16% of the daily range. But they're going to have news later this week, so we'll see how that thing responds. RYTM is Rhythm Pharmaceuticals. It's breaking out of this base here, this cup with handle. It's actually got this base on base pattern and now breaking out today, 7%. Rhythm looks pretty good. Let's see what that looks like on a weekly chart. Yeah, the base on base pattern. It's actually cup, 3 bases in a row. So it's been consolidating since December of last year. So Rhythm, if it wants to make a move, yeah, I'm all for that. It's got the Rhythm CORT. This one, yep, 4% on the week, breaking out nicely. Medical biotech stock, you could see a nice move today. Did close at 32% of its daily range. And that's mainly a function of the market. The market was higher in the morning and then closed lower. So, a lot of stocks closed near their lows or in the lower quartile of their session. So we're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow. That's what I say. One stock that I normally don't show, but kind of a slow day. So I'm gonna point this one out. GLMD, Gallmed Pharmaceuticals, and this is something that I normally stay away from, this 290% move because it's going to come down as fast as it goes up. This is like a Wall Street Bets or a Reddit or it's a real small 7 million market cap stock. I mean, that's chump change, so they can push this thing around easily, and that's what they're doing. You can see the average daily volume is 90 million shares. This is the thing about it, though, I want to point out here is it's got 100%, it says 110% short. It's got a heavy short interest. One of these days, maybe on the weekend, I'm going to go over some stocks with heavy short interest. It can be beneficial where you have a short squeeze, but also we've seen stocks, just crushed by the short sellers. I really don't like my stocks to have a heavy short interest because short sellers can do some heavy damage to your stocks and prevent them from, trading higher if they're really stubborn about it. But this one, that's definitely a nice short squeeze that was forced by, I don't know, it looks like a coordinated attack by some folks who just wanted to, sniff those short sellers out of the stock. Anyway, that's it for the biotech, drugs, whatever. I got to go to the construction names. They've been perking up lately. This is a building concrete company. This is Knife River. Yeah, you can see it's a concrete stock. The group is not real strong, 164, but it broke out. And now it's making new highs, so that looks pretty good. Look at this on the weekly here, consolidating since April. Nice cut pattern. It was up 12% last week and tacking on gains this week. So somebody's buying that stock. And it's in Bismarck, North Dakota. So definitely a random concrete name, but it wasn't the only one. Eagle Materials, another building concrete company. You can see this is a cup shape pattern, another cup and consolidation. So it's been doing this since March. Let's take a look at this on the weekly. Yeah, this is a nice little consolidation. Now it's trying to break out there above the 280 level. This is a Dallas, Texas company with 14% in short interest. So these guys have cash flow, return on equity. This is this is not a fly-by-night company. So anyway, then the next one I wanted to show was a USLM. Another building, a concrete stock, and like I said, the group is not that strong, but you got to acknowledge that these stocks are looking pretty darn good, forming these, trying to break out of these cup-shaped patterns here, consolidation patterns, and once again, the earnings line heading due north, cash flow, return on equity, it's got a little bit of a dividend, 22% short interest, so maybe the short sellers are getting chased out of these, but definitely looking good. Straight up off the bottom, now near that old buy point of 87. So expect a pullback there. A couple other ones, Granite Construction. Granite looks fantastic. Granite's formed this pretty rare ascending base pattern where it runs up and then pulls back like 10%. To run up from what was this, 58 up to 73, then pulls back about 10% to 65. So an $8 move, yeah, and then it runs up from the 65 area up to 75, so more than a 10% move, then a nice little 10% pullback from 75 down to 70 roughly, or where is it here? Yeah, $70. And then now it's made another new high here. So that ascending base pattern is definitely kind of a rare pattern and signs of a strong stock. I mean, if we look at this thing on the weekly, this thing's just trending higher. I mean, it's just being supported at the moving averages, time after time after time after time. So GVA, kind of a quiet stock. They've got some contracts around here. Watsonville, California company, but yeah, just a kind of a slow, steady Eddie. It's a 3 billion market cap, but it's trending in the right direction. So I just want to point that out. Granite looks pretty good. So does Road. Road broke out of a base here. You can see it's straight up from the bottom, so we could expect some profit taking here. Once again, it's the building heavy construction group, 3.8 billion market cap. Road looks pretty darn good. I'm going to go to another one. It's not in the same group, I don't believe. No, not with GVA, but Builder. It's more of the home builder type, but this one's, you can see on the weekly, I'll go back to that. This cup with handle pattern from 214, pulled back to a moving average, now is blasted higher through that 185 area. These are ones that I kicked myself where I was going to put it on, but I didn't, because I don't want to have too many stocks on my red list because it confuses people. I just try to keep it to a small number, but this is definitely one that I like, that I've had before, that's been one of our leading stocks, and it sure does look good here, breaking out from that 185.20 buy point. All right, moving on from the construction, I got to go to some software names. AppLovin is definitely catching some attention for good reason. This thing has traded from $60. I believe that's got to be August 5, right? Yeah, this is going to be August 5. I made that low at 60, which was that yen carry trade, and then it just straight up from the bottom, then sold off, right? So it pulled back to its 50, give us a chance here at that 91 level, and power through the pivot, and it's just been powering higher. So from here to here, this is a two bagger here since August 5th. What's the date today? September 17th. So that's a 100% move in a very short period of time. If we look at the weekly, we can see this consolidation. There's your August 5th, and then boom, blasting higher, right? That looks fantastic. So strong stock in the software group, which we like to see. It's not the only one. Palantir is showing strength. It's a little slower mover, just gradually, breaking out here, trading higher. Supported by its moving averages, though. CLBT is another one that I like. I think this one's actionable right there. It was flat today, 1748. Yeah, thank you very much. I kind of like that. The pullback to the 21, find support, 21 support. It's trading a little higher there. We're just gonna have to wait and see, though. Software is going to be kind of rate sensitive, and we'll just see what the Mr. Powell has for us tomorrow. The Lord Powell. This is a Q2 Holdings, computer software financial name, which I like a lot here. It's consolidating in a base, pull back to the moving average, now showing strength. That one could appear on the ready list as well as INTA. I kind of like this pullback here today. Let's take a look at the weekly on this one. There it is, the cup. Like a little more of a pullback. It's up almost 6% this week, but those two are looking good. INTA, QTWO. All right, let's go to the medical names. Doximity. This is broke out following earnings, formed a little shelf, allowed the moving averages to catch up, taking off again. This looks fantastic. Real strong stock. TMDX sold off below its 50. Now it's rallied up to it. I wouldn't say through it. And that's not a really rally through it. It's a 1.25%. It closed above it, but you want to see power through there as it rallies above with volume. So, it's just a cautious tape. So you're not going to see a lot of stocks ripping higher ahead of this, new data point here that we're going to get tomorrow. CDNA pulled back and undercut its 21. Now it's rallied back above, but once again, it's a cautious tape. So still, I like the medical product stocks, and Intuitive Surgical, certainly one, pulled back to its 21. BSX didn't even pull back to its 21 there. It closed right at its 10. So there's a lot of good medical product stocks that are holding up, doing well. This is Stryker, pulled back to its 10 today. So, pretty calm in here. I also wanted to point out THC, these hospital stocks. This one really sold off hard today. This is a THC, which has been super strong, broke out of the base, and now it's been trending higher, but pulled back, undercut its 21 today. So it's definitely one that I'm watching, that group, because they're, the top 10 group, the medical hospital group. All right, got to move on to the entertainment group. Flutter Entertainment. I'll be kidding you if I told you I know what they do. I don't, but I know a breakout when I see one. And this one's breaking out. You can see this big move here. Once again, we see this often here. The big move, then the shelf allows the moving averages to catch up, then trades higher. So Flutter Entertainment looks like it's still, just emerging from this base here. And definitely one that could show up on our ready list. I'm just trying to keep the ready list, kind of lean because of the new data points that we're going to get. And it's just confusing to have, a lot of names on there. Netflix is one that I do like. That is on our ready list as well. You can see the consolidation pattern, 697 buy point. It's just a tick above it right now. Netflix looks good. And MMYT, another one of these leisure travel booking stocks. This is India-based company, and this is showing a lot of strength here and support at, well, that was the August 5th day, but support at the moving averages and now trading higher. So that one looks good too. The home builders, I'm just mentioning the home builders because these are going to gyrate around. These are rate sensitive, kind of like the financials with the new interest rates. We don't know what Powell's going to say tomorrow. I have no idea. But I like Lennar there. They're going to report earnings on the 19th, which was Tuesday. Excuse me, today's the 17th, Tuesday. So it'll be Thursday. And DR Horton, that'll be after the bell. Lennar's reporting. These all look the same. Just, kind of waiting for Powell to give the word. These could go off to the races here. 136. These all look very similar here. Supported at the moving average though, which is what you gotta like there. It's finding support. So you could buy the dip. If you get a dip to a moving average, it looks like it would be actionable. All right, I did mention the financials. I'm just going to go through a few. This is NU Holdings, a Brazil-based company, supported the moving average. Looks very strong. If you just look at the weekly, yeah, this thing is lower left to upper right, which is what we like. With our stocks, this is SF consolidating here for a while. Since I would say since May, so about 3 months, 3.5 months of consolidation. You could see that 88.19 is an area of interest there. Stifle, Financial, SF, and then TBBK. This is a smaller name, more of a regional bank. The Bank Corp, and it's a 2.5 billion market cap, but definitely set up in the this cup shaped pattern, now going sideways and consolidating. Kind of like that pattern. Once again, cash flow, return on equity. It's just not a fly-by-night company. Got decent growth numbers, single-digit sales, double-digit EPS growth, so not bad. And then the last one I want to show is, and if I'm going to do a little video on short covering or heavy short interest, Carvana would be one of my model stocks here because this thing has heavy short. It had heavy short interest, not anymore. They had to cover. And so when you get a $2 stock and they start covering, this is when you get, your, I don't know what you want to call that. What is it? A 50 bag or whatever, from 2 to 150. You do the math. Hell of a run for Carvana. Another retail name that I want to mention here is Shark Ninja. Now, if I own Shark Ninja, I would probably trim some here because, it made this run. First of all, it broke out, formed a shelf, right? Getting support at the moving averages. After the breakout here, shelf here. Moving averages catch up now, it runs higher. But, it pulled back today. I know it didn't pull back, 9 cents? But if it wants to come back to that 10 and find support there like it did, for a week here, I don't want to take that trip. I can sell today and then let it come back to that 10, which is what, 99? We'll call it $100 and then buy it back at 100. If I wanted to own it, or, if you got it at $80 and you want to write it, I think that's fine. Or if you wanted to take profits, I would take a quarter off the table or something like that as a swing trader. It just feels sometimes like you're getting a little greedy. And if this thing does want to pull back to 10 or even slice the 10 and pull back to the 21, you're going to feel like you made a mistake if it pulls back to, the 95, 96 area. So anyway, that's Shark Ninja. Pulling back on lighter volume today, not a big deal, but I'm just saying I don't want to get greedy with that. So yeah, that's what I did. A couple other ones. Well, Sprouts Farmers Market. This one made a new high, yesterday? Yeah, and then just had like an inside day today. This looks pretty good there at 103.80, 104.41. Definitely Sprouts Farmers Market is a very strong stock. Slow is Sleep Number, which looks like it's breaking out of this stage 1 base. Wow, it was up 8% today. Friday it had a big day. It was up 23%. Inside day on Monday, now 8%. So that is definitely catching my eye at 1844. And if you're not early, you're late. So man, got to get on this one. This is a stage 1 base as it's breaking out of here. So yeah, Sleep Number not bad. Yeah, 1844 was the magic number. No, it's been, had these big red numbers, but looks like some growth is coming back in as expected next year. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Except for at mcstockcharts.com, I have one more thing. I just wanted to show, when you, this is app 11. I'm going to go through the year stocks that are up more than 100% a year in a year or year to date. Not only are they pretty rare, I'm going to go through these with some volume, up more than 100% with volume. App 11's up 200%. But if you go in these big, these can make your year, and you don't have to hold them for a long period of time. And SMCI was up, what, 300% in January and February before it started selling off. So if you go big in a short period of time, these are, some of the names that can really, make your year. And you don't have to hold them forever. Boot is another one. CAVA, this is kind of an IPO stock, but it's up 185% this year. Carpenter, this is one of our leading stocks, up and having a great year. FTAI, this is a smaller cap. Defense, you usually don't see defense stocks up 173%. That one looks fantastic. HROW up 289%. VST. I was going to show the energy names today because GEV and VST and CEG, some of the energy names were strong, but I'm just, I'm not in the mood today. I just kind of want to show some of these names that are up more than 100% that have volume and are trading. I think the screen was above $40. So of course, NVIDIA is one of them. PTGX, another biotech name, SE. Okay, so they're around 100. Shark Ninja, I mentioned that one earlier. THC, I mentioned that one as well. TLN, another energy utility play, up 160%. Very nice. Viking, this is one with short interest, up 238% this year. Fantastic move within MicroStrategy. There are some others, but with that didn't fit really the screening. It's got to be above $40, I believe, and have significant volume, not just these thinly traded names. But anyway, my point is, if you go big on some of these just for a short period of time, that can make your year. But if you're just in them like 1%, 2%, it's hard to make a dent in your portfolio. And some of these still look pretty good to me. I would say, a lot of them still look pretty good to me. I didn't cover CAVA today, did I? No, I didn't. And this one still looks pretty good. Get that stuff out of here. CAVA broke out, pulled back. 110 was the magic number there, the low of the session, and it never was able to go below 110. So that tells me that there's a lot of institutional support here. And if we want to look at the owners, you can see it's got the Lord on its side. Look at all these. Fidelity, I think Danoff, he owns just about every stock on the market. HROW, Invesco, I mean, just a lot of funds there. So a lot of institutional support in CAVA. I kind of like it. If it could, it's definitely finding support at the moving averages. I like it above 128.18. And I'm just kind of digressing now. But anyway, my point is, if you can catch one of these and go big in it, I'm not talking about 5% or 6%. If you go 25% of your portfolio and you're up 100%, you're going to have a hell of a year. My goal every year is just to beat the S&P. And so I've been doing that on a regular basis, but that's not a real lofty goal. You can kind of do that pretty easily just by staying in tune to the market and getting out when it's in a sideways or downward action. You go heavy like this, and then light here, heavy like this, and then light here, and then heavy like this, and then light. And now we're back to heavy again. Got to get above the 18,017. I think we will. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow's going to be a really important day. The first time they've cut rates in a long, long time. We're just going to have to wait and see how the market reacts. Nobody knows. That's the brilliance and the beauty of the stock market. Anyway, NMCstockcharts.com. We never give up.